Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts, and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a look on the gold market. So gold market slowly is coming to resistance that we have specified. So this is on the daily chart. You can see 19 even approximately level. So the first is confidence level here. Market is not at every bot, so here it has some free space. Actually, it's no limitations from the every bot area, and also it has some natural resistance as well. So 19 even is very important area. And theoretically, to keep the bullish context, market has to break through this level. In general, speaking on a tendency, we could recall and return back to the bullish tendency, and we said that gold is again keeps the bullish trend only if market will move above this area. So market has to show reversal swing, so it has to form upward swing greater than the previous swing down. In this case, only in this case, we could say that indeed gold has broken the former tendency and is turning up again. So all other action that stands inside the rising swing, despite how deep it could be, will be treated as a retracement because market keeps the tendency on the lower lows and lower highs. From that standpoint and from the technical point of view, this area in general not bad for taking the short position, at least on the scalp trade, because this is strong confidence resistance on the daily. Also, the flow of the positive news from the US starting to its hosting. As you know, it was promising that should be some voting in the Congress concerning stimulus, but no voting, no approval of the new stimulus has happened yet, because Congress right now think about the deadlock of the government, as usually it happens by the end of the year and in December, when a new budget should be taken before to finance the government activity, and usually it will become some lag between the in the end of the December between on the new year budget and the last year budget. So second, a lot of expectations stand around stimulus from the Fed, but as we said already many times, and it's recently representatives of the United States Treasury has been was talking about this subject. He said that Fed probably will wait when it will see the first result of the vaccination. Hardly will approve any new significant stimulus this year. And we also think that Fed hardly will approve any stimulus just because current really, well, not good moment for that. Government stands in a transition between the two presidents. This is Christmas Eve actually, and what's necessity to adopt and announce any stimulus, because you do not know even what the government administration and financial cabinet will be on the next year, what the program they will take. So they should agree the strategy as the Fed, at the Ministry of Treasury, and to combine some unite program, how better to recover the economy. And from that standpoint, it absolutely makes no sense to announce any stimulus right before the holidays. It means that from the technical point of view, gold is generally suitable for possible taking the short position once intraday targets will be hit. But at the same time, guys, we are warning you about the political risks. That's the reason why we decided to stay aside from the bearish positions by far, at least on this week. Maybe this week for the weekend, at least after the 14th of December, it will be much safer to take the short position on gold rather than now, because if any event will be released in the mass media, it will be very explosive. It will take the explosive action. It will be very fast and expected, and most probably it could happen when the markets will be closed. So hardly you will be in time to close the position or to move to do something. So you could just open the trading terminal and see that market stands with the gap above your stops. So anything could happen. So that's the reason that we think it's better to wait and sit in the hands and wait a bit more. to see what will happen. But again, from the technical point of view, this is area deserve to be considered as the area where potentially bearish positions could be taken. If we wouldn't have the political risk, we could say that, well, it's time to keep an eye on the possible bearish setups on intraday charts that could trigger at least the bounce down here. So on the 4 time frame chart, you can see after the COP target retracement was relatively small, as we said, around 1850 has happened. Now we're watching for possible further upward action right to the OP, because here we see different acceleration here. And in general, we need to see what will happen around 1888 in 19 even area, how market will fluctuate with this level. So to take the short position, if you still decide to do this, well, as usual, it's better to wait and wait for a clear bearish reversal patterns. Now we do not have it yet. So it's time to get a bit more context for taking the short position. On the hourly chart, guys, you can see this reaction, minor pullback, maybe some deeper retracement could be in the shape of the ABCD pattern, but still for gold is the vital area is around 1830, 1820. So this is important because this is kind of the ABCD pattern C point, and in general this is some border between this part of the price action and that part of the price action. So dropping below it, market returns back to these lows, to this bottom area, and the action to the 1760 or even 1730, our weekly target will be open. So that's why this level is very important. And if market suddenly will drop below this area, it will be the signal that's better to not take any long position by far. So, well, that's actually what we have in the gold. Currently, as you can see on intraday charts, we do not have the clear stops, not have clear patterns. Market still stands mostly indecision, waiting some driving factors. So one driving factor could be from the European Central Bank, maybe, although it usually has limited impact on the gold. And, as I said, some surprise from the politicians could happen. That's definitely will make impact on gold, and it's very significant for this market. If nothing will happen of that sort, well, next week we will keep an eye on the Federal Reserve, but in this case, if no political risk will be realized, market could turn to some downside tendency, because we do not believe in the stimulus from the Fed, first moment, and second, after the colleague voting, after the 14th of December, chances to reverse the results of the elections will become significantly smaller. So that's what we think on the current situation.